the news this week, Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon blocking a controversial intelligence bill, concerned that it gives the government too much power in collecting information about you and me. We caught up with Senator Wyden. I wanted to know, this is an extension of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, a bill that's been in place. Why stop it now?
I continue to be concerned, Paul, about the effects this can have on law-abiding Americans. Obviously, the point of the law was to give the government the authority to collect the communications of people who are believed to be foreigners outside the United States, while preserving the privacy of law-abiding Americans. And it is that second provision that I continue to be very troubled about. So where we are now, of course, is looking at how to proceed in the future. I've already agreed that given the seriousness of the threats that our country faces in the days ahead, that I would go along with an extension, perhaps a year, perhaps 18 months even, but I am not going to go along with a long-term extension unless there is a full analysis of whether this law is working the way it was intended, which was, of course, to target threats outside the United States that represent a threat to the well-being of Americans while preserving the privacy of law-abiding Americans.
Why hasn't the government been able to tell you how many Americans' data has actually been collected? What is the problem there?
Well, of course, under the laws and rules of the Senate, I can't get in to this question of how many individuals you could be talking about. I'm concerned that if no one has even estimated how many Americans have had their communications collected under this law, then it's possible that the number could be quite large. Since all of the communications collected under these new authorities are collected without warrants, I believe there ought to be clear rules that say that the government can't search through these communications to find the phone calls or emails of a particular American unless the government has obtained a warrant or emergency authorization permitting surveillance of that particular American citizen.
Supporters in Congress and the administration are saying that there are sufficient safeguards, even if they aren't fully disclosed. You say what?
My particular response to that is if you look at the key section of the law, it's called Section 702, you will not see the kind of protections that I've been calling for, and that has led to the debate that I'm having with the administration. The administration is on the other side of this issue, and I hope I can bring them around to what I think was the original intent of the FISA law. I have served on the Intelligence Committee for 11 years now. There's no question that there are threats to the United States coming from foreigners outside the United States. I don't take a backseat to anyone in terms of fighting those threats, but I think it is possible to preserve the privacy of law-abiding Americans. I mean, the challenge ever since the original meetings of our founding fathers was to show that you could fight ferociously against threats to the well-being of our country and still protect the individual liberties of our people. And to paraphrase Ben Franklin essentially said, as anybody who gave up their security or anybody who gave up their liberty in the name of security really didn't deserve either.
Senator Udall of Colorado is with you on this. How much other support do you have in the Senate?
I think we will have significant additional support on the floor of the United States Senate, and that's one of the reasons why I've made it clear, and I don't object on a matter like this, easily. I think we will have a vigorous debate on the floor, and I think there will be a number of senators who will support the balanced kind of approach that I'm talking about. The two concerns, protecting our country from dangerous threats and terror and protecting the privacy of law-abiding Americans, are not mutually exclusive. It's possible to do both.
Oregon Senator Ron Wyden on the Morning Update in Portland. Ron, thank you very much, and take care.
Thanks for having me, guys. Hope to see you soon.